Let's get it. Episode 17.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome back to the 2 a.m. podcast, everybody. And today you can see we have a little extra guest. Well, not so little. He's a pretty big guy, but we got Dalton Weeks with us here on the podcast live. And thank you for joining in, everybody.
Hey, what up?
Welcome back.
Now, I do want to say something first.
Please.
I want to tell the audience that Dalton is an absolute savage. We are training buddies. We got to know each other through, training sessions in the gym, but originally met through soccer. But I fucking love this guy. He has a cool story to tell, and he's an inspiration. So,
dude, you know what? I'm starting to fall for him too.
Yeah, I tend to have that effect on people.
Those blue eyes, they catch you the right way.
Oh. Yeah, man. So, tell us about yourself.
Yeah,
what do you do?
Just a little bit of tidbits. What are you doing right now?
What's the goods?
Anything coming up in the future, maybe?
Yeah. So basically, my name is Dalton Weeks. 25 years old. Born and raised in Riverside, California. If you guys haven't been, Riverside it's a shithole, but it's my shithole, and I love it.
Horsetown?
Yeah, we're right next to Horsetown, North Gold.
Yeah.
What's up?
Hell yeah.
But so I'm 25 years old, athlete, kind of multidimensional within that sphere as well. Baseball player in college, then I played soccer after college. I would like to say that I'm an adventurer. I like to go outside the box, unconventional. Love to travel. Been all over the place, whether it be with sports or just on my own. So I like to, honestly, when I was a kid, I used to look up to like the adventurers and stuff like that, like expeditions and stuff like Lewis and Clark and stuff like that. And that's kind of where it stemmed from. I used to watch a lot of Cowboys and bro, the Cowboys, man.
You can't go wrong with the Cowboys.
Wild West. But that's where the love of adventure kind of started. And now as I've gotten older, I've gotten to do my own thing.
Right on, dude.
That's awesome.
That is what's up.
Yeah. So
Now tell us about this upcoming expedition that you have.
Your next journey.
Oh, I heard.
So the next journey, I'm going to have to rewind a little bit. I just got back from Montenegro. I got to train with a professional team over in Tuzli, Montenegro. The team's called FK Decic. They're in the second division of Montenegrin professional football. And that was an experience, to say the least. It was like Tuzli, Montenegro, bro. There's like 3,000 people there. You're right on the border of Albania and Montenegro. So Albanians speak Albanian, Montenegrins speak Serbian. Albanians are more Muslim. Montenegrins are more Orthodox. So that's it's a weird little mix. Montenegrins, they don't fuck with Albanians and vice versa. Well, the north side of town, they have the Montenegrins living there, but the mosque for the Albanians is in the north side. The south side is the Albanian side, but the church is on the south side. So there's like this weird mix, right? So I was just like this American kid that's playing soccer over there. I didn't know what was going on. Nobody spoke English, and that was just it was a weird time in my life because I was going through this whole thing with soccer. I was finally getting acknowledgement. I was getting to train with a professional team, and bro, that level is crazy, right? We all look at like the Bundesliga and the Premier League, La Liga, stuff like that. And you get to a point where you're like, bro, I want to be acknowledged for all the work I've put in. And then you get over to Europe and you start playing football, and bro, that speed is crazy. So I'm going through that. And then meanwhile, I have my family back at home. My grandfather started getting sick. He was in and out of the hospital like 6 or 7 times while I'm back there. And bro, I wanted to come home. I wasn't having the experience that I wanted to have, right? I couldn't communicate with people, and I'm a communicator. That's what I pride myself on.
Yeah.
And so long story short, I come home. We could go back to that if you guys want, but I come home and I don't have the passion anymore. Like I still have the passion for training, but I don't have the passion to play football. So football isn't soccer.
For those Americans.
For those Americans.
For the uneducated.
Yeah, dude. So I was just like, bruh, like, what's happening? Like, I've always been an athlete. I've always wanted to play. And for the first time in my life, I don't have that. It's like this like weird zest, bro. You get it. You put your spikes on and it's like it's a different game, right?
Yeah.
And for the first time in my life, I didn't have that. So it was weird because I'm coming back from ACL reconstruction. And for those that have gone through ACL reconstruction, bro, it is a slap in the face. It kicks you when you're down, you're depressed, you're going through it, you can't walk for like 2 months, then you're going through physical therapy, and you know that right now you're injured. So it's weird. This is the first time that I've come back completely healthy. I had ACL reconstruction 2.5 years ago. And so I was like, bro, how can I express myself? Like, really, I pride myself on being different, right? Outside the box, unconventional thinker. And I was like, bro, I want to have a Dalton year, 2020, bro, like 2020 vision.
Yeah.
Bro, I want to send this shit. So I was like, bro, I think I'm gonna go back to a childhood dream. When I was 12 years old, my grandfather and I used to ride our bikes all the time. Until he was 84, he was doing 1,000 miles a year.
Whoa.
Bro, he's crazy.
Savage.
He's a savage.
Good
Like,
Lord.
he's one of the coolest dudes I've ever met. Freaking my grandfather is the man. So he used to do 1,000 miles a year, and he would take me along with that. He'd teach me about the bikes, and it was always just like this place where I could zen out, I could meditate.
Mm-hmm.
But I've gotten away from it, pursuing soccer and shit. And then, yeah, I was like, bro, I want to get back to that place. When I was 12, we used to watch the Tour de France and all these bike races and stuff. And I was like, bro, Grandpa, one day I'm going to go across the country. Like, coast to coast, Pacific to the Atlantic, I'm going to finish in New York City. And my grandpa always kind of like, yeah, okay, whatever. And now I'm in this place, bro. I'm 25. I did my first quarter century on this earth. And it's like, bro, how do you get in touch with that? Like, how do you remain a child? You know what I'm saying? And I was like, bro, fuck it. I'm going to go do my own thing. I'm just coast to coast. Like, I'm bringing it back. Like, this is what I want to do. So right now with this whole virus thing going on, like, it's kind of fucking with my vibe. But
Well, believe me, we know.
yeah, dude, it's like a no. But I'm still figuring it out. I just got off the phone with Amazon. I was telling you about that, and my stuff is still going to get here. So I'm looking to leave within like the next 7 to 14 days. Bro, just get out of town. And the ride is crazy. You got to cross the Rockies, obviously. The first 1,400 miles are barren desert. Bro, I'm psyched.
Just some David Goggins shit.
Serious.
Dude,
I love
straight
it.
up, bro. But your vibe is like way more chill.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I mean?
Yo.
Like you're just
He's weird weird in a good way because he's type A, but he has the ability to just relax.
Yeah, dude.
To just flow with things.
Yeah, you're like your core self is clearly fucking strong, dude.
I
Yeah,
try.
100%.
Which is hella respect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
you. No, dude, it's like I feel like there's a yin and yang, right? So when I was in college, I played college baseball. Tarleton State University, bro. Like, all my boys, they get it. Barrels, it was just like it was a different lifestyle. And my coach was hardcore, bro. Like, every day we had something. And by hardcore, I don't mean like, oh yeah, it was hardcore, like we went to the gym and shit. No, it was like, bro, like you woke up at 4:30 in the morning, we were in the gym by 5. If you were fucking late, if you weren't 15 minutes early, you were fucking late.
Holy shit.
If you were late 14 minutes early, if 0 to 10 minutes late, you had 10 minutes of hell. Minutes of hell being like anything that the coach wanted you to do. Bro, I have stories on stories about that. But a minute of hell would be like 60 seconds running, 60 seconds running, like sprint, 30 seconds rest, 60 second sprint, 30 second rest. And rest is like you just jogging. I did that one time. I was late, bro. I was like 13 minutes early, but my coach was like, yo, you're 2 minutes late. You got 10 minutes of hell tomorrow. And I'm like, bruh.
Oh,
Like,
fuck.
It only took you one time to learn that
bro,
lesson.
it took me one time. I got my ass kicked. And I was just like, dude, what the hell? And it taught me this different respect, right? Respect for your body. We were in the gym all the time, bro. These workouts, I'm telling you, like, we were flipping monster truck tires. Like, we were out in the middle of the freezing cold. In North Texas, bro, it gets cold out there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So my coldest workout, I think, was 4 degrees. We had this thing called Icepocalypse, bro. Icepocalypse, in North Texas, it doesn't snow. It ices, which I didn't. I'm from Southern California, bro. Like, I don't know what that means. So it starts icing, like literally like ice cubes falling from the sky, bro. And then they fall on the ground, and then they're ice again. And I was just like, what the hell? So we had 1.5 inches of ice, frozen solid, and everything shut down. So like this coronavirus thing, right? Imagine this, but it was because nobody could leave their house. Like, genuinely, like if you got out of your driveway, you were on an ice rink.
Damn.
So the baseball field was an ice rink. We were all just fucking around. Like, it was a good time. It was our time to like shoot our shot with a hot chick across the dorms and stuff. But then our coach was like, nah, fam, we're still working out. So we go out to the field. Bro, the grass, I swear on my life, had 1.5 inches of ice on it.
Oh my God.
So we go out and we're wearing our metal spikes and we just get after it, dog. So eventually we tear up the ice, and then Coach Beal, our strength and conditioning coach, is like talking to the coach, and all of us are kind of like, bro, it's freezing ass cold out here. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. It's pitch black dark. We're like, bro, I just want to go home. Coach is like, all right, take your shoes off. We're like,
What the fuck?
Yeah.
what the fuck? Hey,
No,
what,
thank
what,
you.
how you mean? Like,
Yeah, what do you-
what do you
Get
mean?
frostbite?
What do you?
Yeah, so
how
I
do
was
you-
like, all right, cool. We all took our shoes off, and the ice had been chewed up, and it was just like, it was water at that point. So then your feet are freaking wet. It's 4 degrees outside, and we're doing this whole 1.5 hour workout barefoot. Bro, you want to talk about going to a place, you have to go to a place. So at that point is when I started working with mental imagery, and like your body's going through something, and like you genuinely, I don't want to overplay it, but it's like you just have to go somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Or else you're going to be like sitting there like, oh fuck, bro, this is hard. And then you're going to stop. So I always used to do this thing where I had gone to the Dominican Republic. I was on the beach, and in my head, I'd be freezing like my body would be freezing cold, but in my head, I was at the beach in Punta Cana, and I was just chilling, bro.
Yeah.
And I was like running next to a horse and shit. Like I'd make it as majestic as possible. And I was just like in my head, I'm like, bro, this ain't shit. Like I'm chill. And then you look around and you like come to, and you're like, everybody's kind of dying. People are throwing up and stuff. And it was cool. It was like it gave me this place where, being from Southern California, I feel like we definitely are more chill. We're at the beach, dude. We have no complaints.
Yeah.
But then when you self-induce that pressure, you go to a different place. So that's kind of where that comes from.
We all have our experience with that.
Mhm.
Like you can go to a different place when it comes to your creative work online and all that stuff.
Absolutely.
100%.
I mean, I can genuinely create an environment, like I mentioned before.
Mm-hmm.
You know. But yeah, you can definitely go to a, like for example, it's based off mood, kind of.
That's why you like create your own playlist.
Yeah,
You
dude. I
set the
picture
whole
a mood.
environment
What the
up.
hell am I feeling right now?
Mm-hmm.
And then just kind of like set that up. You know, it could be somewhere else, or it could be the same room, or it could be like a room within a room. You know,
Mm.
it's that kind of thing. But
Now, with this bike ride, what's your biggest concern? I know you're not one to really worry about things, but
I think you have to have a little bit of worry, and this is where people right now are freaking out, just going off the deep end, right? It's like they're feeling the same things that we're feeling, but they're giving into this negative ass shit.
Mhm.
And it's like, okay, cool, like, bro, I feel it. Like, they're like, you aren't worried? No, I'm not. Like, you can't. What is worrying doing for you? Like,
Mhm.
bro, the same shit's gonna happen.
yeah.
Like, you can control, and right now you can't control the fact if you get sick, if your family gets sick, like, yeah, stay inside. Okay, cool. But what if 14 days ago homie sneezed at you at the store?
Yeah.
You're fucked. Like, so it's like you can only do so much, and you have to control your response. So now going into this bike ride, bro, I'm stoked. Like,
Oh, I know you are.
bro, to like, it's been a while since I've gotten my ass kicked. Like, genuinely, like, scared. Like, the homies say, like, type 1, type 2, type 3 fun, right?
Mhm.
Type 1 fun is like, oh, Disneyland. Like, yeah, we're just having fun. Type 2 fun is like you're getting your ass kicked the whole time, and it's not fun. But, like, afterwards, you're like, bro, that was sick.
Yeah.
And then type 3 fun is like you almost died, and, like, none of that was fun. But afterwards, you're like, bro, that was sick. That was a cool story.
so like in case we don't die, it would be sick.
No, exactly. So what we're doing is we're about to head out. It's me and my little brother. My little brother's 18 years old. Bro, shout out to Blake.
Shout out to
Yo.
Blake
Shout out
Savage.
to Blake, guys.
Hey, he's a mini savage. He's getting his sea legs. Just to brag on my little brother, bro. First of all, he's my best friend. The kid, I was the first black sheep of our family. Our family's fucked, bro. We like 5 divorces, parents split up. We have different moms, just whatever. But my little brother is my best friend, and shout out to him for kind of like going against the grain with me. He isn't naturally the person that's like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
He likes to have like his comfort zone, but bro, you can see it in his eyes, dog. He's like starting to fight it. He's starting to question things. So with the bike trip, he never questioned. He was just like, yo, what are our 3 options right now? I was like, yo, we're either moving to Mexico, I'm training to run an Ironman, or we're going on this bike trip. He's like, all right, you tell me, and I'm down for whatever. I was like for real? He's like, yeah, bro, I don't give a fuck.
Yo, he's changing.
I was like, it's about it. No, he's like, he's fully bought in.
Yeah.
Kid took the CHESP, the high school exit exam. He's like, bro, fuck high school, I'm out. And it's like, dude, what 17-year-old kid is like in a place where he wanted to move into his car. He lives in a 4Runner, bro.
Mm-hmm.
A 4Runner. He has like a tiny little mattress and a 9'6" surfboard in the back of his car, and he cuddles with his surfboard every single night. Because he like just to live the vibe, bro. Like
he's put himself in a place to where he has to evolve,
exactly,
or he just regresses.
What I find really interesting is that this is actually like some of my my belief system. It goes back to being your core human self.
Yeah,
and you're living that
1,000%
in modern day, which is fucking awesome.
Which is a complete fuck you to everyone else.
Yeah,
in
it's
society
literally
in general.
fuck you.
No, and bro, I live for the fuck yous.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
Like people don't know how to do the simplest shit these days, like start a fire or like chop down wood or I don't know, carve something even. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's just
Carve something, motherfucker.
yeah, and I mean, yeah, I understand.
This guy can't even carve, bro.
Yeah, this guy can't even carve, dude. Straight up, you
Yeah,
know,
I know.
like people are bitching about not being able to cook.
yeah, bro, that's
You know, like it's that stupid these days, and I mean, I hate to use the word stupid, but like,
No, it is stupid.
No, it is pretty
No, it
dumb.
is.
Yeah.
yeah,
Stupid
but
is
like-
not the wrong word.
I mean, I'm sorry if you guys get offended, but
Like if you can't cook scrambled eggs,
yeah,
I'm a little
I
concerned.
get you. Yeah, like it's okay if you're a little clumsy or messy or whatever,
you're-
but like, you know, fix it afterwards.
If
But
you're at
as long
least-
as you can do that, like the main job.
if you can feed yourself.
Logan's trying so hard to cut me
No,
off.
yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to cut you off, but
Yeah.
like what I'm saying is like at least make the attempt to try.
Yeah.
You know, like go try new things. Don't just get, like settle into this comfort zone. I feel like a lot of people
Yeah.
do. They're like, why would I even cook scrambled eggs when I could just Postmate them? Like,
Yeah.
what's the
Yeah,
fucking
bro,
point?
see
You know?
that shit, bro. That makes me sick to my stomach.
Serious.
Like, bro, how are you that sorry that you genuinely can't do your own shit? Like, who raised you? You live like this?
Yeah, dude.
Like,
Especially here in Southern Cal, like where we live, it's first world stuff. It's just
Oh,
like
bro.
we've been catered to all of our lives from
but see,
a young
that's,
child.
that's where self-induced, like resistance, self-induced pressure, bro. You have to seek it out because here, bro, we don't have it. It's a different world. So now it's like whether the best way of putting this, bro, you're just like you have to seek it out.
Mhm.
It's not gonna just come to you unless your dad dies, right?
Yeah.
That was some real ass shit.
Fact.
And you didn't have a choice. That was like Zayd, you are growing or you're dying. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, that's the universe just saying, which I don't want to say it like this, but blessing you with the opportunity to grow.
No, that's 100% true. I say it's the worst thing that happened to me, but it was also the best thing that happened to me.
Bro, look
because
at
it
you.
set me on a trajectory to like, okay, I need to find more. I need to do other shit.
You are the most badass dude I know, and that comes from a place that's deep and dark,
Yeah.
which is cool, bro. Like that is something that like you can't just give that to somebody.
No.
And for me, I've been blessed with like nobody in my family's died. Like, yeah, my childhood was like all over the place, but I never had anything super traumatic.
Mm.
Like, I went through like 5 divorces, which I guess that's emotionally traumatic.
Mm-hmm.
And I was home alone all the time, like genuinely, like just like, bro, what the fuck do I do right now? Like, I guess I'm gonna go outside. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But that's not traumatic. I was lonely.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that was a place where it gave me a platform to speak for myself, and like I had to mature. And like you, at how old are you? 18,
18, yeah.
bro.
And I was halfway across the world too.
Yeah, exactly, bro. That's
Which was just fucking it was, dude, it was so emotionally demanding because it's like you're literally stuck in I can't go anywhere. I don't have anyone to turn to. I have these other soccer players who I've just fucking met, so I can't really go to them. It's just I have to talk with myself.
exactly,
Mm-hmm.
bro. And that's it's. I guarantee you that had to be the hardest thing that you've gone through. Just
But
Some
for the
outright
best,
pressure.
for the best.
It's a really dark place. I'm pretty sure a lot of people feel it on a different level, different levels, of course.
Yeah, because we all have different experiences.
for sure.
Yeah, but I mean that need to talk to someone is actually very important.
Mm-hmm.
I like that you brought that up.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
No, it's cool.
Because even this, we're just shooting the shit, but we're talking about like truth,
Yeah.
deep things.
Mm-hmm.
And we all understand that it's important.
Yeah.
Most people don't
therapeutic.
give themselves that time.
Yeah.
They don't have the group around them to do that.
Well, and that's kind of where I was going with my little brother. That's like I'm super proud of him to be able to seek out pressure and invite that. And bro, he's about to get his ass kicked on this trip. Like
I love it.
he is. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't know what's coming, and that's beautiful. Like that naivety to be like, yeah, fuck it, I'm down. That's crazy, and he doesn't realize how crazy it is, but it's cool to watch from an older brother perspective to be like, yeah, like dabs, bro. Like that's sick.
Just out of curiosity, how are you training for the event? Like
Bro, I don't train.
Or are you not training? You're just gonna do it.
It's pure genetic.
You can ask Zaid. Like, I'm a workhorse when it comes to like, we're in the gym all the time. I have a strength and conditioning coach, Ryan Sare, bro. Dude's a savage.
Ryan's the best.
Ryan's a savage. Pro sport. Like, yo, he's been helping me out for 2 years now. He's always got me ready for my shit. With soccer, this is obviously a little different, but I feel like Zaid can speak to training. 3-4 days a week I'm in the gym, and then outside of that, bro, I was surfing this morning. I'm always doing something. After work, I have a group of homies that we all play soccer and stuff like that, so I'm always active. As for getting on the bike, I got on the bike for the first time. I had to buy a new bike, so I got on the bike the first time a week ago, and I hit 60 miles. My ass hurt like hell, and that was it. Like, now my bike's in the shop, so I can't train anymore. So I rode the stationary bike twice, but it's like,
It's not the same.
no. Well, and it's like, you don't, like, my biggest worry was like, yo, can my legs handle it? So I went to Ryan. I was like, bro, fuck up my legs. I get this shit strong. And he was like, okay, cool. That was it. So that's what I've been doing.
Yeah. Also, another question I had. When you're going cross country, how are you traveling? Like, obviously, you're going to have to take highways, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you're going to have to ride bikes on highways?
Sus.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the route. So there's multiple routes within the United States that have been mapped out by, it's like some cycling network. There's the Transamerica, which starts in Washington and ends in Virginia. That's like the exact opposite way that I'm going, right? That's northeast to south, or northwest to southeast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going southwest to northeast. So that does very little for me. There's Route 66, which I am going to be taking parts of. There's the south route that goes like from San Diego to Florida. I don't want to go through Texas, bro. I spent 4 years there. I was like, yo, fuck that. I'm not going through Texas ever again.
Yeah.
If there's
Never.
anybody in Texas, I'm sorry. Like, but bro, no.
Yeah.
We're not about that.
Oh, you're from Cali, dude.
Yeah, exactly. No. So the route that I'm going to take is Route 66. I'm actually going to take the Santa Ana River Trail right here to Riverside. I was going to kick it at my grandparents' house because this, like I was saying earlier, is for my grandfather. I wanted to go see them on our first night, stay at their house. We're probably still going to go there. I'm just going to pitch a tent in the front yard and be like, my grandma makes the dankest French toast. So I was like, yo, grandma, like, yeah, bro,
hell yeah.
Don't get me started.
yeah, bro, I love French toast, dog. So my grandma's French toast slaps. So she's probably going to have to like feed it through like the door or something. But then from there, we're going to go out to Yucca Valley. Yucca Valley, we're just going to go head up through the desert, bro. There's this little town called Amboy. And then from Amboy up to Needles. Needles is like 280 miles away. And I'm going to try to crush it in 3 days, which that's like 300-mile days in a row. That's
Talk about a demanding fucking journey.
bro, and it's all uphill too. That's the we're going from sea level, dog. So it's like you're going up, you know. Like
Yeah,
there's-
technically.
and it's gonna be, this is where like the trip is. I was gonna leave late April, but logistics wise, it just doesn't make sense. Like, bro, I'm gonna get my ass kicked by the heat. The first 1,400 miles are in the desert, so we're gonna go. Just to give you guys a map, right? We're gonna go out to Bullhead City. That's where we're gonna cross the border into Arizona. Bullhead City to Williams. Williams up to the south rim of the Grand Canyon. From there, we're gonna go east and around the north of the Grand Canyon, and then I'm gonna cut back because I want this ride. I don't want it to be. I know that's gonna sound weird, but I don't want it to be easy. Like, I don't want to take the path of least resistance. Like I want to get my ass kicked a little bit. And like riding 100 miles a day, cool. Like that's an ass kicking. But like I want a little bit more, and my brother's going to be filming it. So it's like, let's go see some shit, you know?
Yeah.
So we're going to go up through Fredonia and then up into Utah. And then from Utah, we're going to go up to Cedar City. Cedar City, Utah, it's not a city, bro. There's like 5,000 people that live there. So it's like a town. But that's going to take about 14 to 17 days to get there. There's this route called the Western Express. Bro, this thing is psychotic. You gain 103,000 feet of elevation gain. Bro, that's 3 times Mount Everest. It is literally like, yo, hey, we're going to kick your ass, and we know you're going to kick your ass. So it's like, it's not fun.
Jeez, dude.
So that's day, like, depending upon how quick we make it up there, 14 to 17. And then we got to cross the loneliest highway in the U.S., Highway 50. We're going to go through like 3 different national parks, Grand Staircase. We're going to go through Zion. We're going to go through Bryce. And then we're going to go up into Moab. So I have one of my homies, Max Carter. Shout out to Max, bro. He's literally an absolute savage. Dude is working in Indian Creek right now, which is a huge rock climbing spot, and he's building 21 rock staircases.
Oh,
Bro,
wow.
like literally like boulders the size of this room, and they're like cutting them up and then like building rock staircases, bro. He's psycho.
That's freaking insane.
He was like, yo, you got to go to Moab. Moab is like 200 miles out of the way. So I was just like, all right, cool, fuck it. Like,
Okay.
all right,
yeah, I like
okay,
how we
so-
all just stopped.
Yeah, so 200 miles north, 200 miles south, so it's a 400-mile detour. But to see the homie and kick it, like,
Priceless. It's
Yeah,
it's
no,
a
it's-
small price to pay.
bro, and like on this trip, it's supposed to be. This is like I'm seeking out like solitude. I'm seeking out like the opportunity to get closer with my brother. We didn't grow up in the same house, and we are already super close. But bro, like this is some lifetime shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
This
yeah.
is me, my best friend, attacking something, getting our asses kicked, and bro, like it's just special. It's just special. So we're gonna go up to Moab, kick it with the homie. We're gonna go 200 miles back. Then we're gonna go through Cortez, Colorado. Shout out Cortez. I'll have to go into that some other time, but Cortez holds a special place in my heart. Then we're gonna go through the Rockies, Durango Pass, out into Pueblo. Pueblo, we're gonna catch the Transamerica, the one from Washington to Virginia. We're gonna cross the Midwest. Right now in the Midwest, well, come April, is tornado season. So I'm like, bro, I'm on a bike.
Just picturing
Like,
that. Picturing
Like
that.
a
Picture him
scene out of the
biking.
Wizard of Oz.
Exactly.
Just flying by.
Yeah, I'm
What
like,
was that?
I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So that's kind of stressing me out a little bit because like I said, I went to school in North Texas, so I know how serious I can get. And the problem is not necessarily in the daytime. Daytime we could probably find cover or whatever, but bro, at night those things come in and they can destroy some.
And they come in
people.
quick.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, and they come in quick. And Stephenville is where I went to school. Bro, there was one. It was 2015, 2016. We had like 40 straight days where we had tornadoes. Bro, it was gnarly. And I was just like SoCal kid at the beach, like, what the hell is happening? Like day after tomorrow shit, bro.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm scared for that. But Kansas, we're gonna crush. Hopefully, just crush it in like 4 days. Going to Missouri, we're gonna go through Mark Twain National Forest. I don't want to go to Chicago. I've been to Chicago. Not that it's a bad town, but like I'm on a bike and I don't want to get my shit jacked.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go into Mark Twain National Forest and I'm going to go dead north on Highway 69. I just want to go because it's Highway 69. But like, seriously, I literally sought this out. I was like, bro, Highway 69, that shit's lit.
Yeah, hell
So
yeah.
we're going to go dead north into Indianapolis. I have a homie there. And then from Indianapolis, we're going to go dead east through like rural Pennsylvania and stuff like that. And to Philly, I have another homie that I want to see. And then from there, we're going to go up north to New York City.
And that's 70 days,
70 days.
give or take, of course.
Give or take. And now there's like this, Blake and I were talking about it. We're like, bro, like, this trip is for our grandfather. And once we get to New York, it's like, I lived in New York for 2 years, so there is like something special there. But this trip is all about my grandfather. So it's like, bro, my grandfather's from just outside of Boston, Lawrence, Massachusetts. So we're like, yo, I've never been to Lawrence. I want to go see my grandfather's home. He grew up there, and then he had a house on Lake Winnipesaukee. My grandfather used to scuba dive in the lake in Lake Winnipesaukee to get lobster and shit. Like, bro, it's just cool to
yeah,
see.
yeah,
Yeah, some OG
That's super
shit.
cool.
So I'm going to go see that, go up through Vermont, and end in Maine. Might as well start most southwest state to most northeast state. And then I don't even know if they have airports in Maine. So I was like, bro, I'm just going to go into Montreal and then fly home. So that's tentative plan.
You will be beyond exhausted at that point.
Yeah, no kidding.
But you will be so fulfilled.
Oh, bro, I can't wait.
Dude,
Oh.
I like everything you're talking about. I picture in a sense of like video work, because that's what I do. It's just, I usually just put on like noise canceling headphones and just like try to find that song that will just like make me imagine all these like scenes, you know what I mean? And everything you described has just been like the vibe.
The vibe.
Without me
vibe.
doing the fucking legwork, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
He has the Rocky
Which is-
theme song on loop for like 80 days.
Yeah,
Just powering him through it.
Final count.
Bro, I'd be like, bro, fuck this song.
but I really can't imagine like within a 70-day time frame. That's probably the best way to grow yourself as a person, because you're going through adversity. You have to adapt. You have to be humble at the same time, and learn your way around things. It's just insane.
And you're working through that. Like, there's no, like, I mean, if we're stuck here, you can kind of just give up and like back up, because right behind you is a fucking couch.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know?
you
But
have
you
have something
cannot
to
give
fall
up.
back
You
on.
have nothing. Like, your mind will keep going. Like, I think you will just create this block in your mind where you just don't even know what the fuck's happening anymore. You're just going.
You're in the zone.
It's probably going to be like midpoint. You know what I mean? I just picture that happening.
You're for
No,
sure
that's
probably
true.
going to hit what I like
Yeah.
to call, like, at least in my head, like the way I describe it is like the numb zone, but what you would call the flow state.
Yeah.
Where you just like, it's kind of just everything's tuned out. Like, you could have music playing and sometimes you don't even hear it. You're like so into doing what you're doing.
For
Just
sure.
getting the
Yeah.
groove on, cruising through.
Dude, it's like, it's hard though, because like as an athlete, I was a college baseball player. Baseball was my life. Like I was telling y'all earlier, my dad played for the Yankees. That was what I wanted to do. And then I tore my labrum in my shoulder, and that kind of like ended things, right? And it was just like, fuck, bro. Like, now what am I going to do? And then I just made the switch to soccer. It was just like, you guys said you wanted to talk about that. So it's like, the switch to soccer was just like me saying, bro, I still want to be an athlete. So I switched sports to seek out that numb feeling, bro. Like, because when you're into it, like not in it, but genuinely like you are into the whole process, bro, you're untouchable. Untouchable. And that feeling, bro, I live for that. Like that. And every now and then you can't be in it for too long, you know what I'm saying? Because then it like, not that it devalues that experience, but there's only so much that you can give. I think 70, if we go up to Montreal, that's probably going to take another 2.5, 3 weeks. So it's like going on 90 days of like getting my ass kicked. That whole experience, especially with my brother, one, we're going to get hella close. We're probably gonna want to kill each other, but that's like,
It's normal.
that's getting closer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we're going to know each other so well that like, just to share that and to seek that out, because dude, there's nobody telling me like, yo, go do this trip.
Yeah.
It's just like my soul telling me like, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And like that childhood feeling of like, bro, I used to shoot BB guns in the backyard. Like, have you guys ever seen Red Dawn?
Yeah,
Red
of
Dawn?
course.
Okay, bro, that was my movie. So then I'd go back in the backyard and I'm like, bro, I'm running away from people. I'd take my bike up into the mountains, and I was just like, I'm gonna shoot some shit. Like, you know, like that was like, I just felt like that childhood thing, you know? So to seek that out is going to be super sick.
That's super dope.
That's going to be nuts.
No, just a brief description. What else is on your, I guess, bucket list for, in
Life?
terms of, yeah, like you mentioned childhood dreams. What else do you want to accomplish besides this bike ride?
Everything, dog.
Because I know you have quite a comprehensive list.
So it's like, I was telling you a little bit earlier, right? I was talking about how I'm multidimensional. Like, I don't have very many role models. But the role models that I do have all are multidimensional. Jimmy Chin, bro. I don't know if y'all know who Jimmy Chin is.
He shot for what's his name? The climber?
Alex Honnold.
Yeah, Alex Honnold.
So
that's
he
who
did
it-
Free Solo. Okay, well before Free Solo, he shot Meru. Bro,
Nuts.
that movie was, one, it was mind-boggling. Two, that shit was inspirational as fuck. And it was the same thing. They talk about it. They're like, just seeking that out, and they're like, why the hell are you climbing something that could kill you? And it was like, well, I'm climbing it because it's there. Like, I just want to climb it. Jimmy Chin, professional athlete. He's a skier, Then he's a National Geographic photographer and an award-winning cinematographer. Bro, savage. Terry Crews, Old Spice guy, right?
Yeah.
Bro, homie played in the NFL. He played like 8 years in the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then he was like, no, fuck this, I'm done. I'm gonna go be the Old Spice man. Like, bro, he's
And just
still
dominate,
jacked.
too.
Bro,
Yeah,
and like everybody, he was on a commercial, dog, and everybody knows who he is, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he did movies and stuff like that to
Movies.
follow.
And now, do you know what he's doing now?
No, what is he doing?
Furniture making. Bro,
What?
He's a furniture maker. And he had a scholarship in college, not to play football, but for art. Art, bro.
Wow.
Like, bro, imagine being that physically dominant.
Mm-hmm.
Only had to squat like 800 pounds, bro. He's a machine.
Thick, to put
Thicky
it
boy.
lightly.
Thick boy.
Thicky boy. And then he's like, yeah, watch me paint this shit. Like, I don't have that. Like, I'm not that badass. Like,
Yeah.
I just can't keep up, you know? So it's like, now he's doing furniture making, and he just did this award-winning design. It's called like the lily pad. Bro, he just put a sofa chair on top of a table.
I did see that.
Bro, it's sick.
It is.
And I was just like, that's sleek. It's super, like, it's just cool. So it's like, those are the type of people that I look up to. So going back to my dreams and stuff, I want to encapsulate all of who I am. And like, I like to feed all of those like avenues, right? So I have the athletic side. But even within the athletic side, you have conventional athletics, baseball, soccer, right? But then I love the extreme side of like mountaineering, snowboarding. My brother has got me into surfing. That stuff is cool. Like, you're seeking different like ass kickings, basically. You're just like, bro, I haven't been tired this way before. Let me try it. Let me get these muscles moving in this way and stuff. So going along with that conventional stuff, I'm going through it with soccer right now. I don't know if I want to keep playing, but then hanging out with this kid, it's been like,
Soccer's life.
bro, I still want to play. I'm doing like
Yeah.
the pancake thing, bro. I'm all about it.
You are
dog.
literally you are the new
pancake.
You are the actual Mr. Worldwide.
I'm trying, Mr. Worldwide. But so that's conventionally, if I've already like hit my goals conventionally, but now I still have something that's like still there. I'm like, bro, this is still kind of sick. Extreme wise, I want to climb Everest because it's like, bro, that's Everest. Like,
Bruh.
Just the name.
yeah, bro.
Everest.
It's like, it's one of those things. It's just like, ever since I was a kid, I loved mountains. I grew up in Riverside, but outside of Riverside, there's this little town called Cherry Valley.
Mm-hmm.
It's right at the base of San Gorgonio. San Gorgonio is the biggest mountain in Southern California. It's a big bitch, bro. It's tall. So I always looked up to that mountain, and I was just like, bro, I need to climb that. And then once I did that, it was just like, there's other stuff like Aconcagua is down in South America. It's like 22,000. I almost said square feet. It's like 22,000 feet of elevation gain.
Yeah.
That's nuts. Hefty.
Yeah, that's like you can't breathe anymore.
No, for sure. And then there's Denali, and I wanna do that unsupported. Denali is the biggest mountain in the world, elevation gain wise. So you start at like 1,900 square feet again, 1,900 feet, and then you go up to 20,000 feet.
Oh
That's,
my
bro, it's crazy. And so in Jimmy Chin's movie Meru, he talks about Alex Lowe. Alex Lowe is Conrad Anker's old climbing partner. He tore his ACL, and then homie climbed Denali unsupported on a torn ACL. And I was like,
Oh my god,
bro.
that's crazy.
Yeah, that's
Like,
literally crazy.
no, it's psycho. So yeah, climbing that stuff, I think I'm gonna get into that zone. But it's hard because I'm not an antisocial person. Like I'm totally extroverted, and when you're out in these super isolated places, you're by yourself. You have to entertain yourself. You have to get your own energy. So that's super challenging for me. I am intrinsically motivated. I do like find my motivation from within, but I still want to talk to people, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, you work at Moon Goat,
It's a necessity.
which has an unbelievable number of people come through daily.
Yeah.
Shout out
Shameless
to Moon
plug,
Goat.
Moon Goat Coffee, Costa Mesa, California. Bro, if you guys need good coffee, I'm the wholesale guy. Hit me up, Dalton at moongoat.com. That's
good
it.
stuff.
Hit me up. I will get you some coffee.
So real.
good.
It's good. See,
Oh, it's real
shameless
good.
plug.
Now-
David Yardley. There you go, bro.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Now, I remember you mentioned when you're totally into it, that feeling, that inner feeling.
Yeah.
Now, do you think that's something anyone can potentially feel, or
Yeah,
do you think you're
yeah.
born with that kind of thing? I mean, because there is a struggle there where because it's sort of a disconnect. That's kind of the way I see it. It's a disconnect with like the real world or whatever you're into right now.
Well,
to
I
kind of
think
get
it,
there.
I think it can go along with anything theoretically. You know, it doesn't just have to be sports or something like very physically demanding. I mean, like for example, artists, Terry Crews, when he was building that furniture, you know, he was definitely in a zone. When he was like drawing on paper, he's like what he wants it to be, or like when he was making it, he was like that's all he was doing. He was just in it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I think anybody could theoretically get there. I just don't think most people are willing to either put in the work or they have something that they're passionate enough in to
Yeah.
reach that point. Do you
Well,
know what I'm
see,
saying?
the passion is a really weird thing to talk about because, bro, we all have it, and it's something that we can't put. Like, bro, what's the definition of passion? Like an intense ass feeling?
It's like, yeah.
Something.
I just mainly think that passion is developed. That you don't just like it's not just there. You have to develop it over time with one thing more specifically.
But see, that's hard because it's like I have passion for so many things, but my passion is going into like multiple avenues. But I feel like passion is like, bro, that's your soul like lighting on fire, bro. That's
Yeah.
literally all it is. It's just like,
You're right. It
No,
is. That's
and-
literally the feeling.
and some people just don't want to go there. And you talk to people that have gone through intense stuff. I was just talking about this last night, so that's where it's kind of popping up. But I have a friend of mine that went through a very intense experience when they were 16. And they bounced back from it, but they don't have any depth. And it's weird to me. Like, it's like, yo, how do you go through something so serious? Like, doctors are telling you, yo, you might not make it. And you bounce back from that at 16, and then you don't have depth. It's like you saw the other side. There was questions like, bro, I might not make it. So I feel like if I had that experience, it would, you know.
When you mean depth, do you mean like a zest for life?
No,
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I think it's one of two things primarily. The first one being that most people don't know how to express that. Like
Okay.
they might have the feeling like so it's definitely locked in there, especially if
has
they
to
had
be. It
the
has
I
to
almost died moment,
Yeah.
right? Like it's in there for sure, but they don't know how to access it yet.
For sure.
Or the second one is they grew up around people that might have like kind of just didn't really communicate with them per se. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Where it's like for example, my dad always told me, he's like, dude, you go do what you want to do. You go, he's like, whatever it is, you be the fucking best at it. Like you go love it. I'll support you. Go get that. You know, some people don't have that luxury. You know what I'm saying? Like some people just get forced into a box when they're young and then their whole kind of world revolves around that box and they don't know how to.
But see,
You know what I'm saying?
this is what's interesting about that is because I feel like everybody has a fuck you moment, especially with like adults and stuff. Like, bro, how many boomers tell you that you can't do X, Y, and Z?
I get off to that when people tell me that I can't do it.
This is the fucking
It's
moment.
so
He has
true.
to- he's like,
I love that.
exactly.
That's true. It
No.
pisses you
Oh,
off in the
yeah.
right way.
But that's almost like a self-induced thing. It's like,
Yeah.
but you can succumb to that, and you're like, well, you told me that I can't do it. It's like, no, bro. Like,
Yeah.
fuck you. Like,
You can either choose to become a victim because of it, or you can choose to become a
1000%.
creator.
That's
from
what
it.
I'm telling you. That's what I was saying. Like they got put into that box and then they just got comfortable in there.
but then
and
that's
they're like,
that's on them.
exactly.
So, and
That's what I'm saying.
that's, bro. If they want to live like that, then that's
Yeah.
on them.
I
Bro.
mean, that comes with
It's
fear
like-
too. And a lot of people don't know how to unleash fear
And
or
see,
like
that-
Yeah.
get used to it.
I don't get that either.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I was just born this way because this is how I've always felt. But I look at my little brother who he does have a very different relationship with fear. And you can talk to Blake. He'll say the same thing. He's like, if he gets punched in the mouth, it's like, ooh, where did that come from?
Yeah.
Whereas like my first instinct would be like, yo, fuck you, like go back.
Yeah.
But Blake is developing that, so that's where it's interesting because like he's going through that in a different realm, you know, and you can see it developing. But Blake gets to hang out with me all the time, and maybe that's like he's exposed to that mentality. Where what you were saying was like, what
He's
if they
learning.
don't have exactly? So if they don't have that, then maybe they have it written on their heart, like, bro, I want to get out of this, which so many people say that, like,
Yeah.
bro, I hate my job, bro, I hate this, bro, I hate that.
Get out of it.
Get out, like, do something.
That's the problem. Is that you put yourself in the most comfortable situation.
Like how
rather
many,
than
how many kids
stepping
do you
up.
know, like from high school, middle school, whatever, that they did everything their parents told them to do, and they're like, just to break that line, even a little bit, would be just the most anxiety-inducing, fear generating thing for them. Like it's
Oh, yeah.
not, it's
Yeah.
unthinkable almost.
I
Like
get
how many
that,
do
dude.
you know?
I'm Arab, bro. I know so many. Like,
No, here's the thing. I was like that as a child up until the point my dad passed. After that, it was like the gates opened.
You had to
And
learn.
then
though.
I could actually like,
did you feel like the worst thing has already happened? So it's like,
in a way, yeah.
let me continue.
I mean, during
Like,
the moment, it felt like the
yeah.
worst thing, of course.
Of course.
But then it was like, it almost gave me, it almost allowed me to just say, fuck it, go for it. Am I going to live my life based off of others' expectations or my own?
Right.
Yeah. You're right. And everything should be built by you because fuck other people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro.
Better to
Yeah.
try and fail than
Yeah,
to
dude.
not try at all.
It's
For
it's
sure.
the cliche shit, but it's true.
I know, seriously.
And the reason it's cliche is because it's facts, bro.
Yeah.
It's like,
Exactly.
but it frustrates me, bro. We say it all the time. I'll be serving people coffee, and I'm like, bro, I'm making coffee for the sheeple, bro. It's like you just see it in their eyes,
And
bro.
it's
They
sad,
aren't
dude.
alive, and it's like, dude, if right now, like everybody's stuck at home and stuff, they aren't like stuck, but yo, people that hate your jobs, go use this time to be creative.
Mhm.
Like, you bitch about not being able to not go to work, and now you have this blessing that you have unlimited time, bro. If you're off for the next 3 weeks, guess how much shit you could get done.
You could create
but you're watching Netflix.
Yeah, that's true.
What the fuck?
You could
Like,
create an entire side hustle with that time.
you
Yeah.
genuinely, like, you could go balls deep in your side hustle because right now you have nothing else,
Mhm.
but you're watching Netflix.
Yeah.
I haven't watched Netflix and I can't remember how long. I don't have a television.
When's the last time you owned
Yeah.
a TV? Have you ever owned a
7
TV?
years ago?
Yeah,
like
7
8 years
Dang,
ago.
dude.
Bro, and it was my freshman roommate in college. It was his TV.
It wasn't even yours.
No,
Yeah.
because what am I gonna do? Like, watch porn? I don't know. Like,
You're just gonna do this all day.
I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
1080p, 24 inches.
that shit looks
60
good.
FPS.
Yeah, no, I totally get you though. I mean, to work on my craft, I mean, the only way, realistically speaking, was I needed to make money too, because
For sure.
you're always, if you're gonna do work on yourself as a starting, you're not gonna make shit.
Yeah, you're gonna
You're gonna be
broke.
doing free things to just develop yourself. So I used to sell shoes during the day, and then at night, instead of sleeping 8 hours, I'd rather sleep 4 hours, but get like another 5 hours of me time.
For sure.
Mhm.
Do other things, things like that. I was making stupid ass videos at night, and they were really stupid. And then by the end of it, I would have wasted 5 hours and then delete that footage. And I'm just like, I fucking hate it. Day by day, it would just get better and better and better and better. And within a year, I was able to save enough money to kind of just get the hell out of there. And at the same time, I would have had this foundation
Right.
of shit where it was already making revenue.
For sure.
And that's available to
And
everyone.
bro, and then after that, I was like, you know what? Now I can sleep 8 hours.
Yo, but where did
And I
that come
could
from? Where did that passion come from to start doing that?
Dude, I've loved movies my entire life, right? And I look up to people like Jake Gyllenhaal, where they're always running like plays. They write their own scripts. They're really into books and things like that. And just the way they speak just gets to me. So I would usually listen to people's interviews, like celebrities out there.
For sure.
But to me, they're more than celebrities. They're actually people that are just genius.
Upper echelon, bro. They unlock some type of
Yeah,
upper
dude.
level shit.
It's just like, how are you this smart? And a lot of people don't see the smartness in them. They just see them as like this like model image.
Yeah. They think
but if you dive
celebrities are-
deep into like people's lives, they're doing a lot of shit, bro. And they're up
yeah.
there for a reason,
For sure. So when you were in your dark times, which I'm sure we've all had dark times in this room, like we've all had moments where we're like, bruh, like I can't get out of this.
Mm-hmm.
But where did you find that passion? Was there something deep within you, or were you like, bro, I'm sick of my job? Like, where did that come from?
To be completely honest, it came from seeing all these people being down all the time. And I felt like I mastered picking myself up to the point
For sure.
where I was like, I can like portray certain emotions with color. I can portray certain emotions with storytelling. So why not just try to make people or have people see my work and have it be related at the same time so they can feel that certain emotion that I felt
For
as
sure.
well in the easiest way possible, but also the best looking way possible. And it's just, in a way, it's kind of like helping people, but not in like an entertainment sense, obviously.
Right.
But at the same time, it does mean something to me. So
Bro,
if
dude, that's amazing.
yeah, if you can find the crowd for that, that's literally all I ask.
Dude, and what you're doing as a creative, this is something eventually that I would like to tap into because obviously I'm very physically driven. Like this,
Yeah.
I like all my goals, not all of them, but most of them come in the physical realm, right?
Yes.
I would love to be able to like tap into that like that creative side. I don't know what that looks like for me, but what you're doing, bro, you're giving light, you're giving motion, you're giving like sound to people's dreams, to people's thoughts.
Yeah.
Bro, that's special.
Yeah.
Like that is sick.
That moves people.
No,
Yeah.
it like in a way that like, cool, I'm going on these trips, but that's for me. You know, maybe like we could film it or some shit, and like then it's like I can talk and like maybe I can move people through that. But like, bro, for you to be able, and you make music, right?
Yeah.
Bro, like that, I vibe in my van, like vibe, and that comes from that artist's specific feeling that they are creating, and I think that that's super special, bro. Like that's so sick.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. You keep saying that you don't have an art, that you don't do something artistic. I think like athleticism in sports is your form of art. And I know that could be debatable, like, is it an art form? I think it is because it involves finesse.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there is a level of athleticism, which you clearly have. You've like talked about, yeah. You know, and like you express yourself through that medium, whether it be on a board, whether it be climbing up a mountain, or whether it be biking across the United States, maybe even into Canada.
Hell yeah.
It's inspirational to somebody out there.
I appreciate
100%.
that.
Yeah.
No, I was at the MoMA, right? So I do appreciate like art and shit like that. I sound like such a jock, dude, and I'm sorry that I cuss so much, bro. I swear on my life, it's
Chad
from
Thundercock or Bobo. What was it?
Bobo kicking horse, dog. Hey, when I'm a stripper in 10 years, dog, and I'm like, this is my shameless plug for my stripping game. My name is Bobo Kicking Horse, all right? No, so I think I was at the MoMA, okay? And there was this piece, right? I'm walking through and like people are like looking at like weird paintings and shit, and they're like, "Oh my god, like that's so sexy." And I'm just like, "Bro, what the fuck?" Like, I don't feel any of this, right? But then I go into this room and it's just this white room, bro. And there's pictures all over the wall, and it's just like they're like right at eye level, right? It's like picture, 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 picture. I walk into this room, bro. Every single picture was an athlete playing different sports. There was no jersey. Like the jersey was replaced with just a white shirt of whatever they were wearing, like whether it be a tank top or a shirt, like a jersey or whatever. The fans were blurred out. The like advertisements and shit on the stadium was blurred out. All you could see was the field and the person doing whatever movement. Bro, that shit moved me. Because you look at these basketball players doing like 360 dunks and they have the ball over their head and the ball was missing. So there's no ball. So it's just like this person, bro, doing this like crazy contortion stuff, and it's like, God damn, I'm an acrobat. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like you don't see it when you're playing, but that feeling that you get when you step onto the field, when you put your cleats on, bro, that is priceless.
It's heaven on earth.
No, genuinely, like you can't replace that feeling. That's why I have such a hard time giving conventional sports up. When I was younger, it was all about going to that deep, dark place of not feeling like loved or not feeling like proud. Like my mom was always super proud of me, but my dad had like a very weird way of showing it. Like he was doing his own thing. He was always stressed. But like to feel that appreciation, I'd turn to sports, that dark place, right? It wasn't like as a kid, it was more like I saw the guy on the other side of the field and I was like, bro, fuck that guy. Like, I'm gonna fuck you up. That was the competitiveness, right?
Yeah.
And as I've gotten older, it's like, bro, I don't give a fuck about you. Like, you could be 6'10" with a big dick and I don't care. Like, it just doesn't bother me because I'm not playing you. I'm playing myself.
Yeah.
And if I can find my zen, if I can find that on the field, I'm dangerous. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No,
So,
100%.
No, it's cool that I do think that I'm artistic. It's just not in a conventional, like, I don't paint shit.
Yeah.
Like you said, you're an acrobat, dude.
Dude, yeah, but art is in all forms, dude.
For sure.
100%.
For sure.
Yeah, with the way it's especially like you know about how we juggle and play, one touch inside of pro sport. Like you can't tell me that's not an art form.
Hell yeah.
We're fucking moving the ball in different
Yeah.
ways and hitting it at the precise area of your foot. Like, that's totally an art form.
But it's like geometry, it's art, it's all that kind
It's
of
an understanding of physics. It's like
It's a performance.
Yeah.
That's what it is at the end. You
Yeah.
are performing for people or for yourself in this.
All
like, if
what
you're doing it by
artists
yourself.
do is glorify the artists.
mm-hmm.
That's all we're doing.
That's all we're doing.
I'm
bro.
just glorifying other
But-
art.
Yeah, performing for others.
Yeah.
It's
Exactly.
an art.
No, it's cool. That's all that physical stuff is shit. It's like it's the bee's knees, bro. I like it.
What else? What else is on your mind right now?
Mm.
You have any topics you
How
want
good this Spanish liqueur is, bro.
Oh, Spanish liqueur. It's amazing.
Yeah, bro. I'm out. I have like one little baby ounce left, but
One little sip.
what's on my mind, bro? I guess right now it's just me. I got off the phone with Amazon. I got my stuff ready. So now it's like not even so much about the bike trip. It's just like trying to go into pre-trip, bro. Pre-trip is a weird mindset, you know, like, you know that you're leaving. And when I feel like I can say this for all of us, like we have very much so the growth mindset, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're always like, you're hungry, you're wanting to evolve, you're like trying to go to that upper echelon, right? Like you're talking about Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
He's a baddie, bro. Like you want to get to that place. And in this like pre-trip thing, I've done all the planning. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm gonna wear. I know the weather's gonna be shit. I know I'm gonna be cold. I know I'm gonna be tired. I know I'm not gonna have enough food. I know I'm gonna lose weight. All this work I've done in the gym is like going to shit. My upper body's not gonna be sexy. I'm gonna lose it all. And that's okay. And I'm looking forward to that. But now I'm just like sitting here waiting, like, especially now because like shit's closed.
Yeah.
It's a ghost town.
God.
Bro, I feel like a fourth grader. I'm going back to that little kid where I'm like, and I live in my goddamn car, so it's like I've been surfing every day, so it's like
Yeah.
I'm not even in quarantine, but it's like,
Okay.
all right, what do I do now? Like, so I'm just waiting for this trip, and that's gnarly, but
Yeah.
you know.
I feel like there's always. Oh, sorry.
Continue, please.
There's always that flat line in between, like gaps whenever you're leaving a destination,
For sure.
or whenever you're heading there.
Yeah.
Like it's so weird, and I know exactly what you're talking about.
Dude, there's like I learned this in high school English, I think, bro. It's called like the denouement, which is like the end of a play, the end of a movie, the end of a book. You have the rising action, you had the climax, you had the falling action.
Yeah.
And then there's that little part at the end that's like, all right, now what the fuck do we do?
Yeah,
You know?
it's literally a flat line.
Yeah,
There's no way I
it's
can-
just like, all right, cool, I'm just waiting. Sick. So that's
Flat
kind of
line.
that's
Yeah.
where I'm at right now.
You're in the pre-trip purgatory,
Pre-trip purgatory,
Ah.
for sure.
the PTP.
the
Hell yeah.
PTP. I like
Hell
that.
yeah. No, I feel it.
Can you sorry, you were talking about Spanish liqueur, and it got me on
Hell
just
yeah.
Latin America in general, especially with the whole soccer stuff, because I kind of wanted to like dive into this a little bit.
Cool.
You have a pretty gnarly experience in Colombia.
Colombia.
Yeah.
A couple, bro.
And would you like to? Do you mind like elaborating or filling us in?
Please.
Bring us
Yeah.
up to date.
So this is like the other section of Dalton, right? Like I speak about myself in third person, I'm sorry. But it's like that this is like the other side of me where it's not the physical beast, the physical like realm, right? Like I said earlier, I really fucked with cowboys. I enjoyed like that whole Wild West scene. I enjoyed like people going out and seeking whatever was out there. You know what I'm saying? They used to ask like, oh, why do you guys do that? Well, because it's there. Like I want to go claim it. I want to go do it, whatever. So when I was a kid, my parents, I love them to death, but they didn't seek out experience. So my mom came from rural Pennsylvania. She moved to the big city of Los Angeles when she was like 18 or 19. Sick, bro. Like,
Oh, yeah.
That's massive, especially
Big
for that
change.
generation, bro. So it's like props to my mom for even doing that, because I wouldn't be a Southern Californian if that wasn't for my mom, you know. But she stopped after that, and that kind of shook me, you know. And I always just wondered, like, bro, what was that about? But so as a kid, I was always obsessed with going back east because that was where my mom was from. I'm like, bro, I'm gonna go find my old family, and we don't have a relationship with that side of the family, but that's a different story. So I always grew up with this zest for like, bro, what is out there? And so growing up in Riverside, I grew up around hella Mexicans. All my homies were Mexican.
Yeah.
So I grew up speaking Spanish. I grew up just like, I feel like any other Mexican kid, right? Like if I was at my homie's house and we wanted something to eat, like I had to ask for food in Spanish. So there was always like this love of the Latin American culture. And yeah, so I do this thing where I have life goals, right? So I break up my goals in 5 different sections. Let's see if I can remember it. You got physical, you have financial, you have spiritual, you have personal, and you have relational. Okay? If I can I have goals that I write at the beginning of each year before trips and shit. And if I can make a move that can improve 3 of the 5 goals that I have for that year, or my life goals or whatever, if I can enhance 3 of the 5 goals, I will make the move.
It's such a smart framework.
You have to, because you get lost in the sauce, right?
Yeah.
So, bro,
Lost in the sauce.
That's literally my slogan, dude.
Bro.
It's funny as hell.
So you get lost, and then you need a direction, you need a platform. So I got hurt playing baseball, which I'll go into this real quick. I played college baseball. My dad played for the Yankees. That's what I wanted to do. Okay, that was my life. We talked about this before. That feeling of hitting a baseball, I will die saying this. Baseball is the hardest sport. People talk shit. It's boring. Whatever, bro. That shit's hard. Let's go to the batting cages, and you will not touch it.
Yeah.
And if you do, you aren't gonna play at the highest level. So I wanted to play baseball. I go up to upstate New York after college. My shoulder was fucked. It was done. So I come back home, and I was depressed, bro. You go into like this weird depression, right? I'm like, dude, I lost my identity. From age 4 to age 21, the only thing I had ever cared about was baseball. Now it's gone. So I went through a big breakup. I was dating somebody for 5 years. We broke up. The day before college graduation, bro. Killed me. That was the person that I thought I was going to get married to, all that kind of stuff. And then, bro, that shook me. And that's when I started living in my car. Okay? So this is senior year of college. Baseball. Cool? I want to go play baseball. I go play, and my arm's fucked. I can't play anymore. I'm like, fuck, bro. Like, now what am I going to do? So I lost 2 big things, right? So I go back home. I'm at my dad's house. My dad and I have this rocky relationship. And I'm sitting there at the house, and I'm like, bruh, fuck this. Like, this is how people live. They go to work. They sit in traffic.
Yeah.
I've experienced
Fucking
it.
traffic, bro? Like, you want to tell me that you're going to waste your goddamn day on traffic?
Yeah.
Rat race.
It's
The
soul
rat
sucking.
race. Joe, it's crazy. So I'm sitting there, and I'm sitting there for probably 2 weeks, bro. Euro 2016 was going on. Okay, huge soccer competition. Bro, fuck soccer. It's for pussies, right? That's what I always told myself. So I was like, bro, I'm not gonna play this stupid.
You hear that,
sport.
Zayd?
I hear it.
So I was like, bro, I'm not gonna play this. But I'm watching it because I can't sleep. I have like this hardcore. What's it when you can't sleep? Hold on.
Insomnia?
Insomnia. Thank you. I was like, Inception? No.
Close.
I'm having like hardcore insomnia, and I can't sleep, and I'm watching Euro 2016. Bro, Joe Hart, goalkeeper for England, makes a massive mistake against Iceland. Ball goes right through his legs, and I look up his salary, and it's like 12 million pounds a year.
Yeah.
I was like, this bitch made that mistake on the highest level against Iceland. Iceland, bro. You're making 12 million pounds a year, which, what's that in dollars? Like $20 million, more or less.
Something like
Yeah,
that.
something
Probably
like
like 14 to 15, something like that.
Cool. So it's hella money, bro. A yearly salary of that plus endorsements. I was like, yo, I'm a good enough athlete to figure something out to make 6 figures a year. Right? There's so many soccer teams around the world. I want to travel. I had just gotten back from a trip. When I found out I tore my shoulder, I took a trip. I flew to Russia, and then I backpacked from Russia to Morocco, which was like, I saw like 18
Damn.
countries or something. It was like,
Good Lord.
bro, that was sick. We
This
were
could
like,
literally be a 5-hour episode.
bro, I know.
Oh,
That's
exactly.
what I was telling you guys
Yeah.
earlier. I was like, bro,
This
like,
is
what do you
fucking
want me to
insane.
talk about?
No, this is fucking great.
So when I tore my shoulder, I was sitting in the, I'll go back to this. This is going into junior year, or going into senior year of college. I tore my shoulder. I was like, bro, what do I want to do? I'd always wanted to travel. As athletes, we sacrifice so much. Every weekend, you ain't doing shit. Pool parties, yeah, no, fuck you. You can't go. You have a game. And if you don't have a game, you have practice. And if you don't have practice, you're in the gym. And if you ain't at the gym, what are you doing? You're freaking hitting the ball against the wall.
Preparing in some way.
Exactly. Mentally, physically, you're doing something.
Yeah.
So then I was like, bro, I don't have anything holding me back. I had a full ride scholarship to play baseball, so I was like, bro, fuck it, I'm just gonna take out a student loan, and I'm taking $3,000 out, and I'm going to the furthest place mentally that I could. I read the book The Alchemist. It like fucked me up, bro. I finished
Great
it in
book.
6
Oh
hours.
yeah, good one.
Bro, I read it and I was like, yeah, no, fuck it, I'm leaving. So I bought a one-way ticket to Russia because that was the furthest place I could think of. Unfortunately, 21-year-old Dalton didn't know this shit because I was just a jock, but you needed a visa. Visa to me, I thought was a credit card. I was like, all right, whatever, bro. I just showed up. So I show up to Russia with nothing, and I'm like, and so I get to the airport, and they're like, hey, yo, so do you have your visa? I was like, yeah, it's in my suitcase. And they're like, we need to see it. And I was like, yeah, okay, cool, it's in my suitcase. You guys already took it. And they're like, okay, cool, well, you're gonna have to show customs in Russia. I was like, okay. Get to Russia, they don't let me in, obviously, because I didn't have a visa.
Yeah.
So then I'm stuck in the airport. We got to go to Prague. We backpack down through like Italy, go up through Germany. Bro, it was crazy. That's where like the love of logistics came in.
Mm-hmm.
Reading maps, just figuring shit out. I was hitchhiking all over the place. Make it down to Morocco. It was just a crazy whirlwind. And I have to backpack up through Prague. It was like 18 countries, 4 months. I ran with the Bulls in Spain. I was sleeping on the side of the road. I was sleeping in cities and towns. And like, bro, it was an experience. I went from like 225 pounds, just a muscle, to like I came back at like 190, 185.
Damn.
So I was skin and bones, bro. I'll show you guys pictures. It was stupid. But yeah, so then I had that experience. I come back all enlightened and shit, right? And I'm like, oh, bro, dude. The other side of the world. I was in North Texas, and like everybody's like guns, Jesus, and beer
and barbecue.
I'm like, give me a burger. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, bro, you guys realize that the other side of the world has like this, and that, and they're like, the fuck you talking about? Yeah. And I'm like, fuck, bro. Like, so then I was just like, bro, get me the fuck out of here. So then I moved to Dallas, Texas, picked up a marketing job. Okay. Then I was like, bro, I want to go play baseball again. My shoulder felt fine, so I was training for that. Girlfriend of 5 years broke up with me, and I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to live in my car, work at the marketing firm, save some money, go up to upstate New York. Went to upstate New York. I was playing baseball. My arm was giving out. Bro, they weren't letting me play. It was just like traditional like public or politics on a team and shit. And I was just like, bro, I'm not getting my shot. I was up there for 6 weeks, and I was like, bro, fuck this. Like, get me out of here. So I flew back home. I lost all my money that I put into it, and I was just like, I felt like I just wasted time, you know? So I'm sitting there on the couch. I'm watching Euro 2016. Joe Hart makes his fucking mistake. And I was like, I bet you $100,000 I don't make that mistake. Never. I would never let that happen. Mm-hmm. Right? And this is me being ignorant, me being like full of myself. But at the same time, like there's that line between arrogance and confidence, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, I guarantee you that I don't have that mental lapse.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, cool. Put my money where my mouth is. That night, I'm watching this movie. Movies, okay? I talked to you guys about that earlier. I don't have a television. I don't care. But if you can sit me down and put an inspirational movie in front of me, bro, I will be zoned in. Because it's like I need something, right? Like I'm intrinsically motivated, but at the same time, I need some type of like, bro, get me amped. Mm-hmm. So I'm watching Eddie the Eagle.
Hey,
bro, that movie fucked me up. Okay, homie was born with polio. He's like, I'm gonna be an Olympian. Long story short, homie is trying to be a summer Olympian. He can't run, so then he's like, I'm gonna learn how to ski. Dude becomes a long distance ski jumper, and then he makes it to the Olympics. Bro, you were born with polio.
Talk about an inspirational story.
You have no business being here, right? And he's like, yeah, no, fuck you moment. He had it multiple times. He's like, you can't do that, fuck you. You can't do that, no, fuck you. Like, that is savage, right?
Straight.
So I was like, cool, bro. Maybe I'm a huge believer in the universe, right? Especially after The Alchemist. I'm like, the universe will conspire in all of its ways to make whatever's going to happen. Mm-hmm. So I was like, all right, fuck it. If I go forward with faith and just believe in what I'm doing, then I'm going to make it. Send out 75 emails that night, okay? I was like, look, if I'm going to pursue this, then I need to pursue it in a way that is going to fulfill 3 of my 5. So I was like, all right, personally, I want to learn Spanish. Mm-hmm. Like, that is just a thing. Like, bro, that's sexy.
Of course.
Yeah. Bro, I'm 6'5", white and blonde, and then I could start speaking to you in Spanish. You bet. Like, that's like a
game over.
Exactly.
Dude.
It's like, bro, I won. Okay?
Puppy.
Exactly. Ooh. So I was just like, okay, cool, Spanish. I was like, physically, I'm going to learn a new sport. I'd played 1.5 years of soccer in high school, and it was like I was just fucking around. I was talented at it naturally. We broke all the school records and stuff. Like I broke the school record in saves, so I knew that I had natural talent, but I didn't know how to kick a ball. I didn't know anything. So I was like, cool, I'm going to learn physically how to do something different. And then just like the fact that I was getting travel in, I was like, bro, this is going to be a new experience, right? I'm going to make new friends around the world. I'm huge on networking, bro. Like, to anybody that's listening to this, yo, network your ass off. Like, I couldn't be here if I didn't have people around me. And like, we have been talking about like the stuff that I'm doing. The stuff that I'm doing stems from help from other people. I have not done any of this shit by myself. Like, yeah, I might have the idea, but then I got to go to somebody and be like, yo, train me. Ryan.
Standing on the shoulders of giants.
Bro, you have to. Yeah. Like, you connect, and some people are like, well, they aren't good enough to work with me. I'm like, yo, fuck you. Like, if you aren't working for free, if you aren't working, I think it was Casey Neistat talked about this, or Gary Vee, one of the two. Like, they're talking about, if you can't work with number 1, then work with number 2. If you can't work with number 2, work with number 3. And if you ain't that good, then work with number 670. Like, work with that person. And then 670 is going to get you to 420, LOL. And then that person's going to get you higher up, you know?
420 to 69.
69.
Yeah. Climb up the ladder.
Hell yeah, you picking up. But, so that's where I'm like, you have to work with other people. So I was like, cool, I'm going to go network. I'm going to go learn a new language. I'm going to go learn a new sport. And bro, I get to go to Medellin, Colombia, whatever. Well, at this point I didn't know, right? So I'm sending my emails and I'm using Spanish and I'm like, I feel like an idiot writing and shit. And I'm like, bro, nobody's going to get back to this. So I get an email back. I filmed a tiny little clip, bro. And I watched the clip now and I was like, bro, I look like such an idiot. And I'm like, God damn, like I found these little Mexican kids at the field across the street from the house. I was like, yo, take shots on me. And I'm like, what? I was wearing baseball batting gloves, bro.
No.
And I'm like, yeah, fuck you. Like, you ain't gonna score on me. And then they're like, bro, why, you're white and what the fuck you doing? And I was like, no, watch this. So then I start making saves. It looks unconventional as fuck, but I was like, bro, I was just betting on myself. I was like, if the universe wants it to happen, it's gonna happen. Send 75 emails. Then I get a response the next morning. So Saturday night was when I sent it. Sunday morning, I wake up to an email from one club. It's called Connoisseur in Medellin, Colombia. I don't know anybody in Colombia. I don't know anybody in South America. I don't know anybody in Latin America. Like, I don't know shit. They're like, look, our 2 goalkeepers just got hurt yesterday. They're like, if you can make it here by Friday, we'll give you a 1-week trial. I was like, bet. So that's Sunday morning. I instantly get on the computer. I check my bank account. I have $1,800. I was like, fuck it. All right, cool. Let's see the cheapest fight. $200 one way. I was like, gang shit. Like, I'm going to do it. I buy the ticket for 36 hours from then. That's Tuesday. Okay. I fly out Tuesday and I end up there. I have to go to Fort Lauderdale down there on like Wednesday night, get to the hostel Thursday. I find the field that I'm going to be practicing at on Friday. And then I show up. Bro, you want to talk about feeling uncomfortable.
Oh my God, I couldn't imagine.
I show up and I'm like,
are you the only white person there?
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah,
Stupid
I'm like,
question, but
okay,
just
look,
in case.
I show up to the field, bro. There's literally 30 fucking Colombians. Look, I didn't know anything about Colombia. I had never been to South America. I hadn't even been to Central America. I'd gone to Costa Rica and Panama.
Okay, so that's shock.
So I'd been to Central America before. I had backpacked and shit. So I was like I knew a little bit of what I was going into, but like it was just big dick energy. I was like, no, I got it. Like, this is happening. So I show up. Custom down there is to be like super friendly with everybody. Handshake. If there's 30 people, you give 30 handshakes, right? Dab. Me, I walk in, I'm white. We don't do that shit here. It's like, yo, what's good? Boom, put your hat on. That's it. I have my headphones in. They look at me like I'm the biggest dick. They're like, who the fuck does this guy think he is?
Yeah.
I hadn't played soccer in 5 years, bro. I was like,
which is just insane to me, like to think about. 5 years you haven't played the game at all.
Well, I shot with those little Mexican kids, but that was it. They were 14.
and you're going into a serious tournament.
Yeah, bro.
Fucking hell.
So but that's where belief comes in, right? And I knew I wasn't going to be the best, but I was like, look, one of my favorite baseball players of all time, Pete Rose, bro. They called him Charlie Hustle. Charlie Hustle didn't give a fuck. He just didn't. Okay? Like, you don't care. I don't care if I look bad. If the ball doesn't go in the net, fuck you. I win. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I don't care how bad I look. If I play with, they say it in Spanish, ganas. Ganas is like
Desire.
Yeah, exactly.
Passion.
Bro, you have to have that. If you have that, bro,
It's
I'm
true.
gonna win.
It's true.
So I went down, I just balled out, and they're like, bro, you look unconventional as fuck. And I was like, and this is all in Spanish, bro. I'm like, okay. They're like, look, we want you to stay. We need to teach you the fundamentals. So then I just go hard from there on out, training all the time. But long story short, I ended up training with that team. They got me into a tournament. The tournament was called Mano y Mano, hand to hand. It was a 250 kid tournament, and it was like 16 and up, 15 and up. And there were dudes coming in from all over South America. Initially, I wasn't in the tournament, but then the night before, they give me a call, and they're like, look, we need one more person. I was like, okay, I'm there. It was an hour and a half away from my house. My dad happened to be visiting me. I was like, yo, Dad, change the plans. We're going to this field. We show up, there's like 3,000 people there, and they're just watching this mano y mano tournament. Basically what it is, to use like this table, right? You have your goal and their goal. There's 5 yards box for each of you, like goalkeeper box where you can use your hands, and then 5 yards of dead space on each side, okay? So if you like save the ball and it rebounds off of you into the dead space, then they can come up, and it's called rebote. It's like a rebounder, like deflection or whatever.
Yeah.
So they come up and they can take a shot. So basically clean handling. And then once you have the ball, you can set it on the ground, kick it off the ground. You can punt it, like side volley it, or you could throw it. And I was like, okay, cool. I get in. There's groups of 5 that are playing. Okay, so it's like 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Top 2 of each 5 go on to the next round. Then it's knockouts from there. First game, dude scores on me in like 20 seconds, okay? I was like, fuck, bro, this is for real. Like, this is crazy. I'm like, what am I doing here? And they're like chanting racist shit. They're like, why is the white kid here? I was like, my dad's like, I don't know what the hell is going on. Trump 2020. And I was like, dude, like, what is my dad doing, dude? I'm like, fuck. So I'm just like, bro, this is not my spot. So with like 10 seconds left, there's 2-minute matches. 10 seconds left, I put it in. Okay? We tie 1-1. I saved myself. Come over to my dad. My dad's a competitor. He looks at me, grabs me by the shirt, and he's like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, you didn't throw the ball a single time. He's like, you played baseball your entire life. And he's like, why aren't you throwing it? He's like, change the angle, get to the right side, throw it back post. Get to the left side, throw it back post. Get to the right side, throw it back post. He's like, you're going to kick everybody's ass. I was like, okay. Go out. Bro, the next game I scored like 13 goals. It's like, ta, 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 ta. It was like, bro, it was like throwing a football into the freaking.
Crazy.
It was stupid.
Yes.
It was stupid easy, because at that point I was like, I have accuracy. This is where like you need to do multiple things, right? Because being multidimensional, you're going to learn things from other sports. You're going to learn things from other avenues of life. And then you're going to use that, and you could use it in film editing. You can use it in music. You can use it in everything, right? So I just used what I had, and I started kicking everybody's ass. I won like 13 games in a row.
Wow.
I make it to the final. I knocked out the kid who now plays for Atlético Nacional, who is the biggest team in Medellin, Colombia. He's a starting goalkeeper for them. He was on the Colombian national team. And I beat him, went to the quarters, beat that guy, semis, beat that guy, and then I made it to the final and I lost. Next day I wake up to an email from Itaquí Leones, and that's a team in the 2nd division, and they're under Rio Negro, which is in the 1st division. Okay, so they're like, yo, go to practice tomorrow. And I was like, okay, full-blown pro team. And I was just like, I showed up and I was like, what the hell am I doing here? And long story short, it was just like, from that team I got an agent. I got to play with Philadelphia Fury, which is in the ASL at the time. Now I don't know if they're disbanded or playing NPSL, which is like 3rd or 4th division in US soccer. But I tore my ACL, and then that sent me down like a whole nother rabbit hole.
Holy crap, man.
I know we've been talking a lot.
What
so
a fucking story.
Dude.
Good Lord.
I honestly want to say, like, before we wrap this up in a couple minutes, but dude, what an experience of a conversation. Like, I honestly feel inspired right now.
I was in the flow state
And
in this
The first time he told me this
Dude.
fucking story in the gym after we
Bro.
worked out, I was just like, I was floored.
Bro, like, what did I say at the beginning of this? I said I'm a fall for him.
Yeah.
And I felt pretty hard, bro.
Just don't try anything
Yeah,
over there,
dude.
yeah?
Yeah.
Holy crap, dude.
No, it's definitely it's you gotta choose into it, bro. Like, that's at the end of the day, like, you gotta, if you don't have adversity kick you in the ass, then you got to go seek it out.
Yeah.
And it's like kill or be killed, bro. Like we all want to be in the upper echelon. That's what we want to do. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to be in the upper echelon, then you got to work your ass off.
Yeah.
And working your ass off isn't enough, bro.
Yeah.
You have to take risks. You have to take chances with people that you might not want to talk to. You might not be an extrovert. You might have to go make connections, and that's uncomfortable for you. Go fuck yourself, bro. I don't care. My coach in college always said it, bro. Fuck your feelings.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not here to care about your feelings. He's like, I don't care if you're hot. I don't care if you're tired. I don't care. I don't care if your mom just passed away. I don't care. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, bro, it's you. And we're talking about life, dog. We get one. Okay? From here on out, if you don't go forward with big dick energy, somebody's going to pass you up. It's the fact of the matter.
True.
And then you're going to be sitting there when you're 69 and you're going to be like, bro, I wish I did this or that. And it's like, no, fuck that. I'm not going to live with that. I refuse. And I'd rather err on the side of aggression than die like having these like, what if, like I would have made it to professional soccer if it wasn't for this bum knee. Like, no, fuck that, bro.
Yeah.
Like I want to go in, get lost in the sauce, fucking do it, go hard. That's it. You know?
If that's not inspirational to you people, I don't know
Honestly.
what is.
Yo, guys.
I mean, I could keep talking for an hour, but
Holy
I guess
shit.
we got to go out on some big dick energy right there.
Big-
After he comes back, we'll have
Oh
another
my
one,
God! Yeah,
guaranteed.
seriously,
Holy
you're coming
crap.
back for
Oh,
sure.
you're coming back
If
for
you
sure,
would- if you want to.
100,000%.
Gang. Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, dude. Not forced, but yeah, you know. Well, anyway, guys, wise words from Dalton over here, man.
Oh my God.
Dalton
Honestly,
Weeks.
I have
Go follow. What's your shout? Put
yeah,
all your
what's the
handles.
Instagram?
Shout out your
Instagram
page,
is
bro.
Gone for Weeks at Gone for Weeks. Yeah, if you guys have any questions or anything,
Yeah,
like
for
that,
sure.
hit
We'll
me up.
definitely post that all of his links and stuff in the description. Go follow him, guys.
Do you want to
Fucking
send
won't
us off,
regret it.
good Scrooge?
I can send us off, yeah, for sure. You know what? Thank you once again joining us on the 2 a.m. podcast, episode 17. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor.fm. Is it Combox?
Castbox.
Castbox. No, Com. C-O-M.
I thought you said
Yeah,
cum
okay.
box.
No, God,
Again,
no.
I was like,
Jesus.
what?
Jeez, bro, you know Combox? No.
Thank you once again. It's been real fun. Dalton, thank you so much for joining
Thank you, good
us.
sir. You're an
problem.
inspiration. We love you.
It's
Gang.
been Logan.
Dalton.
Saeed.
Zaid.
Thank you for joining us, everybody. We'll see you very soon.
Peace.